I have reason to suspect they were involved in a recent hijacking of the Corinthos trucks. My people are rounding them up right now.
Well, that's good for Sonny. But what does that have to do with Julian?
Call it a courtesy. I'm giving him a chance to get out ahead.
Ahead of what?
I guarantee you when these guys are brought in, they're gonna talk. So is there anything that you want to tell me before they do?
I told you, they used to work for me, which you know seems as how you did too.
I remember. I just was hoping that you could provide a little more detail.
A little more detail, like what? Their favorite movies? They were my employees. End of story. I mean, what more do you want, honestly?
I want you to acknowledge the fact that I'm doing you a favor. Because if these guys walk through that door and tell me a different story, well, we know what's going to happen to you.
All right, I want to remind you, Commissioner, that my client is here voluntarily. So if you would like him to continue to cooperate, you're going to have to dial back a bit on the hyperbole.
Play ball. Julian, tell me what you know about this hit on Sonny before my guys walk through that door with your 2 employees in tow.
Even if these guys did have something to do with that hit on Sonny's warehouse, Commissioner, I still don't see how this has anything to do with me.
Well, they used to work for you. Julian, perhaps you have information on his current employer. Maybe you're still affiliated with him.
You know what? I think that we've answered about enough questions. For now, he's under no obligation to answer any questions since he's not under arrest.
No, he's not under arrest. You're right about that. He's a law-abiding citizen now. Which makes me wonder why he doesn't want to cooperate. Unless maybe he's got something to hide.
Like I said, we're done here. So if you'd like to contact Mr. Jerome, you're going to have to go through me, and then I will direct you to him.
It's all right, Alexis, although I do appreciate the vigorous defense. I'm really not worried about it. The commissioner is free to round up these guys. I'm confident they won't have anything to say about me.
So you're confident that the 2 suspects in the hit on Sonny's warehouse are not going to drop your name in a conversation?
To be honest with you, I have no idea what they're going to say. But I'm fairly confident they won't say anything about me because I haven't talked to either one of them in a long time.
So there's really no point in speculating about this. All right, we know that those men worked for Julian. Those men no longer work for Julian, and he is not in contact with them anymore.
Is that correct?
Look, if these guys put out a hit on Sonny's warehouse, they must have gone into business for themselves or they're working for somebody else. But they're not working for me, so I swear to you, I had nothing to do with this.
If we're done here, Commissioner, Mr. Jerome and I have a memorial to get to.
My niece's father passed away. I want to be there to support her.
In just a moment, actually, I have a few more questions.
Commissioner, you wanted an update?
It's okay. Go ahead. Did you and Falconeri bring in the suspects?
We got there too late. We found one guy bleeding to death from a GSW and no sign of the other one.
And the other one?
Died before we could question him.
Well, it looks like you're right, at least about this one. He's not going to be talking at all. How convenient for you.
Let me be clear, Commissioner. I don't know how or why that dead mobster got shot or what happened to the other one. But if those 2 were the ones who hit Sonny's business, I'd start looking in Sonny's direction.
Alexis, I know that you represented Sonny at one time.
Well, it's a matter of public record.
And based on that knowledge of Mr. Corinthos, is it likely that he would bring attention to 2 men that he suspected of robbing him and then turn right around and kill them?
Well, from my experience, Mr. Corinthos would avoid violence whenever possible. When he couldn't, he was very good at covering his tracks.
Better than Julian? My sentiments exactly.